sleeping.
That's okay. You may or may not hear one of our neighbors out chipping away at the snow and
Okay.
ice. And I say that chipping because it's like this thick. Where's
Hmm.
there you go. It's like this thick.
Yeah.
So, um, I don't know if that's going to
Mhm.
convey a crossover onto the recording or not, but just in case you know what it is. So, welcome back to another episode of Sister Sharpens Sister. My name is Karen. I am joined by Delina, who is sitting in front of the pretty curtains, and Shalon, who's wearing the ear warmer because she's always cold.
It's a headband. It's not an ear warmer.
Oh, what is it?
It's just a headband.
Oh, just a
But it's
headband. But
it's serving the purpose of an ear warmer.
okay, so there we go. And today, because this episode will be coming out really, really close to Valentine's Day. Let me get a quick look at the calendar. It will be up at least by the 13th. We're going to talk about St. Valentine, the culture at the time. So, Dee Dee, do you want to start us off since you
Sure.
actually did a little bit of research onto who
Mhm.
St. Valentine was?
Yes. Well, my first question was, did he really exist? Or was he made up? Is he someone of legend or did he really exist? Um, now, some somebody named Valentine did exist in Italy, okay? Because the name Valentine is deeply rooted in the Italian culture. So that is a fact. Okay, it's not just some name somebody came up with and said, oh, made up stories about him.
Now,
So
I
that
had
is a fact.
heard that there was more than one person with this
Yes.
name.
Yes. And I agree with that. I think that there's been more than one Valentine, and the Catholic Church actually has at least three Saint Valentines.
Okay.
So I believe there was. I mean, there is a lot of information about it. I didn't go through all of it because I'm not technically studying it, but there's a lot of information about it. So I only got like some highlights of it about who he was and what he did and did he exist. And I think it's highly likely that he did. And part of the reason is number one, his name is a popular name, deeply rooted in the Italian culture. Number two, there was a church that was built and dedicated to him. The church was unearthed in the early 1800s, and it
Where
was
was this
dedicated to
church?
Saint Valentine. It was, hold on, I will tell you. It was in Rome.
Oh, okay.
It was in Rome. Yeah, let me see. I can get you. Oh, I think I have the street name. Maybe I don't have the street name. I might have the street name further on, so I can give that to you when I get there.
Sure.
But it was in Rome, and it was Pope Julius the First that built the church. Okay,
Okay.
now Pope Julius was born somewhere around 280 A.D. Okay,
280. Okay.
yes. Now Saint Valentine was martyred around at 269 AD. That's roughly 11-year difference. So although Pope Julius I did not know the Valentine, it could be highly likely that he knew people who did.
Right. Well, he at
So
least knew of him. I mean, they're
yes,
contemporaries, right?
yes. Well, yeah, I
Hmm.
mean they were around the same time because Saint Valentine died in 269 and Pope Julius was born in 280. That's just 11 years difference. So yeah.
It's born in
So
280.
yeah, born in 280 and Valentine was killed in 269.
Well, okay. I'm sorry. I thought you said the church was built in 280.
Oh no, no, no. The Pope Julius the First was born in 280. He hadn't built the church
Oh,
yet.
okay.
Yeah, I couldn't find an exact date of when the church was built, but the Pope Julius, he was Pope from 337 to 352 A.D. So sometime during that period, probably.
Yeah.
Now, most likely, Saint Valentine would have been a priest.
Okay.
There are some stories that say he was a bishop. And there are some accounts that he was someone who loved Christ and preached the gospel. Okay. Let me see.
Let's see if I can catch this.
Okay. Now we have oh yeah, and this is interesting, although this is not a direct link to Valentine's Day. But Saint Valentine is the patron saint of lovers, but it's not romantic love. He's seen as the patron saint
Hang
of lovers because
on a second.
okay.
Sorry, we are having technical difficulties.
It's funny.
My charging cord goes right across where he was just standing. So as he
Oh,
was coming out of the window, he pulled it off.
gotcha. Okay, I was wondering what you were doing. I'm like, what?
And what's so fascinating about your
Okay.
ceiling?
Okay. Uh, so Saint Valentine is the patron saint of lovers because, according to the stories, according to the legend, he defied Emperor Claudius II, who decreed that he he forbade soldiers to marry, but Saint Valentine's married them anyway. That's why he is considered the patron saint of lovers. He is also known as the patron saint of epilepsy because, according to the stories, he was the conduit God used to heal people of the falling sickness, which is epilepsy. So,
I have a question. Did you find
okay.
anything? No, sorry, I don't mean to flash you with my work in progress. Um, I had heard about the guy that did the Caesar or whatever that didn't want the soldiers getting married. Do we know
Mm-hmm.
why he didn't want that to happen?
Yes,
A
yes.
distraction, isn't it?
I read that in one place. I read it's because if they were married, they didn't go to war. But that's completely and totally false. If you were a Roman soldier, you went to war. Didn't matter if you were
Mhm.
married or not.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
He didn't want them to get married because he thought if they were married and they had a wife and possibly children, they would be a less effective soldier.
They'd be distracted.
Yes, he thought they would be more effective if they were not married. So he forbade them to be married, but St. Valentine didn't care. He married them under the Christian faith anyway.
Okay.
Yes.
And now this is not at a
Now,
time when Rome was Christian, right?
this is before Christianity was illegal in Rome
Okay.
at the time.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. The
Yeah.
Roman Catholic roster includes about a dozen individuals named Valentine. It recognizes at least three distinct saints named Valentine. I couldn't find any more than the three I have here, but what I found was is that the places where I found these said at least three, but they only named three. So my
Okay.
guess is these are probably the most commonly known. Valentine of Rome, who was reportedly beaten and beheaded in the 3rd century, born around 226 AD and died around 269 or 270 AD. So he would have been 43 or 44 years old when he died.
Okay.
And then Valentine of Interamna, or what is now called Tirna, or Terna, Terni. He was a bishop who was whipped and executed. Now, there are different, some say he was born in 226 AD, some say 175 AD. And people have him dying between 269 and 273. This
There's
is
a big
also one
difference
of the
in those
reasons,
birth years.
yes. And this is why I think also that there's more than one Valentine.
Okay.
Right? Because such a disparity in this story of that when they were born, and even quite a not a huge difference of when they died, but that's a few years, right?
Yeah,
So
a few.
because this Valentine would have been anywhere between 43 years old and 98 years old. That's a large gap. So this is one of the reasons why I believe there was more than one. Okay. And then there was a Valentine of Africa. The only story I found about this one was he was a martyr who died with companions in Africa. His date of birth is unknown, but it's likely that he was martyred in the 3rd century.
Hmm.
Yeah. So that's the ones I found as far as St. Valentine's and what the Catholic Church recognizes. Now, the Catholic Church removed St. Valentine from their calendar in 1969 because of all the different stories and lack of true history about who he was. So they don't include him on their calendar, but they do still recognize him as a saint. Okay.
Okay. I don't know what it means by they removed him from their calendar.
I'm not sure either, and I'm not Catholic, and since this is not an episode about the Catholic faith, I'm kind of just walking over that and leaving it,
Sure.
because that's not what we're talking about today specifically.
Right. Okay.
Because our at least in my head, when I did my research, my goal was to get from the Saint Valentine to Valentine's Day. That's my goal. So that's what I'm doing.
That's the goal of the
Now,
episode.
yes. Now, none of these Saint Valentines, well, you all are going to talk about culture. I'm not talking about culture. I'm talking about history of Valentine's Day.
Okay, wait. I looked it up just real quick.
Okay.
It is the calendar of the general Roman calendar, which is the mandatory calendar of saints' feasts and celebrated days by the church worldwide.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Well, so
So the
that's
Catholic Church
yes.
in and of itself does not have a celebration for Saint Valentine.
No.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So now none of these Saint Valentines were romantic as in the way we understand Valentine's Day. All right. The love they were interested in was the love of Christ and preaching the gospel. Had nothing to do with romantic love. All right.
Except for the guy
Now,
that was marrying people.
well, yeah, but he was marrying them so they wouldn't be living in sin.
Okay.
So it was because he didn't want them to be living in sin. It wasn't because they were in love. And I mean, hopefully they were when they got married, but that was not his reasoning. But he is said to have been the tool God used to cure blindness and also to cure people of the falling sickness or epilepsy. He married people under the faith of Christianity, even though it was illegal to be a Christian and it was illegal for him to do that. He ministered to Christians and others who were imprisoned. He converted Romans to Christianity, and he refused to worship the pagan gods. So, yeah. Let me see. I finished
Just as a
that
side
part.
note, have either of you read the book American Gods by Neil Gaiman?
No.
I highly recommend it.
Okay.
Highly recommend it. It's a
All
really
right.
good book. And there is or was a Netflix series about it. Like season 1, I think, was about the book. And there was
Mm-hmm.
a season 2, I think, but I don't know if it had anything to do with the book because I couldn't get past like the 3rd episode of the series because it was not the movie I saw in my head when I was reading the book.
yeah, what was his
Yeah.
last name again? Neil what?
Gaiman, Gaiman.
Okay. So, how did we get from Saint Valentine to Valentine's Day? What happened? How did we get there? Originally, it was a Roman festival that dates all the way back to the 6th century BC. And according to the
Six.
Roman mythology, was to honor the Roman fertility god Lupercus, Lupercus, and the she-wolf who nursed twin brothers Romulus and Remus, who were the future founders of Rome when they were abandoned. So it was a festival for them. The festival was called Lupercalia. All right. The festival was held on February 15th because that, according to the Romans, was the start of the spring season. The festival was to promote health, fertility in women, purification to ward off evil spirits, and to ensure agricultural prosperity. The ceremony
Okay.
involved the sacrifice of goats, a dog, and where the nobleman or the clergy of the Roman faith would run naked through Rome, whipping the onlookers with goat hides to bless them with fertility. Yeah, I know.
I'm
I know.
sorry.
I was kind of laughing about it too because I see this in a comedy. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I
I see it
see
in
I
a
see
comedy.
Monty Python is what I see, or Mel
Yeah.
Brooks.
Yeah. Okay. So Pope, no, I'm going to butcher this name. Pope Gelasius. It's a German name. So it's Gelasius. Pope Gelasius the First, in the late 5th century, abolished the Roman fertility festival and established February 14th as the day to honor Saint Valentine. Now, that was not a romantic holiday. It was a festival day, like Shalom was saying, where you celebrate the saints. That's what
Mhm.
it was. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now, Valentine's Day, it is rooted in a Christian martyr and the mid-February pagan festival. The modern tradition began with the medieval belief that birds paired on February 14th. They paired for mating on February 14th. And it just evolved through courtly love literature. Okay. Now, the Romans, primarily the French and the English, believed that February 14th was the start of the spring season and the mating of the birds, as did the Romans. And so that's how it got its start in being romantic.
Well,
But it took off.
apparently the weather over in Rome on February the 14th is a lot different than what we have outside of our window right now.
Yes, right now. Yes, yes.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
although the birds are very chirpy lately. Have you noticed that?
They're probably seeking
Yes.
their mates.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
The ones that are there that don't migrate, they're probably seeking their mates. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
I've heard a
Now
lot
the
more bird song in the mornings lately than I
mhm,
have
yeah.
the past few months.
Now the current St. Valentine's Day as a romantic holiday that we know took hold in the late 14th century, driven primarily by English poet Geoffrey Chaucer.
Okay.
In his poem called Parliament of Fowls, which is the assembly of birds. Okay. The poem, let me see if I think I have a description of the poem.
Do you have the poem?
What I have are links to some YouTube channels that will recite the poem to you. I have one for the original Middle English and one for translated into modern English. Okay.
Okay.
So I will share those with you, Karen, and you can put those out there if people want to hear them.
Yeah.
Let me
Mhm.
see. Here it is. Yes. The poem was written somewhere around 1381 to 1382, and it's a 700-line dream vision poem exploring the complexities of love, social hierarchy, and free will. The narrator dreams of a debate among birds presided over by Dame Nature, which is Mother Nature, regarding a female eagle's choice of mates. So there are male eagles vying for her attention and they're debating. And then there are what they call lesser birds, which are like chickens, ducks, and geese and birds like that, that chime in as well, which I imagine is probably quite funny. But in the end, the female eagle has a choice. And in the end, she doesn't make a decision. Yeah, I thought I actually put a line from the poem in here. Let me see if I can find that.
You said this was a dream vision poem?
Yes.
So does that mean he was high?
Who knows?
I mean, because I know a lot of these guys did some of the stuff that's considered hardcore now, like cocaine and heroin and
Mm-hmm. Probably. Well,
laudanum.
for
Laudanum.
him, it was, I don't know, it might have been magic mushrooms. Who knows?
Could have been.
Mm-hmm. Looks like maybe I did not keep that.
Eagles mate for life.
That's
Throw
true.
that out there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the fact that she didn't choose, I mean, girl power, right?
Yeah, right? Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It's okay to be single,
Oh, here
ladies.
it is. Yes. Okay, here it is. I did keep it down. It's just in his poem, and this is in modern English. I'm not going to go and speak Middle English. He says, "For this was on Saint Valentine's Day, when every fowl cometh there to choose his mate." So he actually mentions by name Saint Valentine's Day.
Hmm.
Okay.
All
Now,
right. I can see
Valentine's
how
Day
that
was
would
also,
I can see how
yes,
that would convey.
yes, exactly. And it's said that the poem likely alludes to the marriage of King Richard II and Anne of Bohemia. When did we begin exchanging Valentines? Okay, now written Valentines actually began appearing in 1400. Shakespeare referenced Valentine's Day 3 times in his plays. I could only find 2 plays that he talked about it specifically saying Valentine's Day. So the third one just may be like a reference to it and not mentioning it by name. Now, in the 1800s, Esther Howland began
Well,
mass
wait a
producing
minute. You're not going
Valentine's
to
Day
tell
cards.
us. You're
I
not going to
will.
tell us the
Yeah,
Shakespeare
I
things.
am. I
Oh,
am.
okay.
I am. I am. Esther Howland, excuse me, Esther Howland began mass producing Valentine's cards and popularized them in America. She is often referred to as the mother of the American Valentine. Her handmade cards often featured glitter, lace, and silk and are cherished collector's items today. Now,
Wow.
Shakespeare's Valentine's Day was in Hamlet, Act 4, Scene 5, where Ophelia says, "Tomorrow is St. Valentine's Day, all in the morning, be time." I'm not going to continue with the rest of it, but she specifically says St. Valentine's Day. All right. And if anybody knows about Hamlet, it's a tragedy to where Hamlet's dad is murdered by his dad's brother, and his dad's brother marries his mother, and Hamlet wants to get revenge on the uncle. Okay. A Midsummer Night's Dream was the other one. It's Act 4, Scene 1. Where, let me see if I've got that. Yes, here it is. Duke Theseus says, "Good morrow, friends. Saint Valentine is past. Begin these wood birds, but to couple now," is what he says. Now, Midsummer Night's Dream was a comedy to where you've got these lovers who go into an enchanted forest and all kinds of chaos happens. So,
You
so that's
remember
how we
giving
get
out
from,
Valentines,
yes,
especially in grade school?
yes,
Which I don't know.
we always,
We never did it in middle school, did we?
no, 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 no. It went away by the time I got to middle school. But during grade school, we would always get a list of the student names and take them home. And we would have to buy Valentine's cards and give them to everybody.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And we had our little boxes or whatever that everybody would put their Valentine in.
Yeah, we had to make those, didn't we? We would make boxes, or we would use construction paper to make like folders or something, and
Yeah.
people would go and put them in. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I remember Valentine would come up and the teacher would send home a thing saying Valentine's is next week or whatever. Get your
hmm
boxes ready and decorated in whatever theme. And me and Dee Dee would go to mother like, "Do we have any Kleenex boxes?" And mother would be like, "No, but I got a cracker box."
But that's all I got. I mean, a little bit of history about Saint Valentine and of how it became a romantic holiday thanks to Geoffrey Chaucer and Miss Howland making America a place for Valentine's cards and things as
Isn't it
such.
something that it was a woman?
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, me neither.
hmm It's not really
But
something I would think of a man doing, especially back then.
no, no, not at all. Did you know that on this day in history, in 1926, Disney Brothers Cartoon Studio becomes Walt Disney Studios?
Hey.
And in 1883, a gentleman by the name of Lewis Waterman began fidgeting and experimenting with a device that would eventually become the fountain pen.
Hmm. Good for him.
I only bring up the fountain pen because if you look at calligraphy, it's a very
hmm
romantic style of font.
It is.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to learn how to do it. Always.
Yeah, me too.
But I will tell you that a fountain pen, in true sense of the word, scares me because that ink does not come out of your clothes.
Well, I know we had talked about looking up what other um what do we want to say, other areas of the world did. But there wasn't a whole lot.
Yeah,
And
and I
there,
ran into that same thing, which is why I pivoted.
yeah. Yeah, and I somehow landed on the oldest surviving known Valentine,
Okay.
Okay.
which was a poem composed in prison by Charles de Leon to his wife in 1415.
So was he French?
He
I'm
was
guessing.
French.
Okay.
He was a French royal, the grandchild of Charles V, the Duke of Orleans, and has been credited for writing the first Valentine card. And Charles wrote the poem in 1415 at age 21.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the first year of his captivity after being held in the Tower because he was captured by the British during the Battle of Agincourt. The battle, you referenced Shakespeare, and the Battle of Agincourt is a centerpiece for Shakespeare's historical play, Henry V.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Charles married at age 16, um, forgive me if I don't pronounce it correct, Bon Armagnac, who was only 11 years old. And it was a political alliance. But it says that Charles was held prisoner for a quarter of a century and would never see his wife again because she died before he was released.
Oh, wow. 25 years. Holy cow.
Yeah.
And the Valentine is my very gentle Valentine. Ready? I am already sick of love, my very gentle Valentine. Since for me you were born too late, and I, for you, were born too soon, referencing their age difference.
Mm-hmm.
God forgives him who has estranged me from you for a whole year. I am already sick of love, my very gentle Valentine. Well might have I suspected that such a destiny thus would have happened this day, how much that love would have commended. I am already very sick of love, my very gentle Valentine. And that was it.
It was sweet. I mean,
Yeah.
sad, but sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a sad story, but yeah. Hmm.
Wow. Yeah, it's very sad,
91 years
especially
old.
since you gave us the history beforehand.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, when I was looking up stuff, I was trying to find out, like, like Valentine happened in the third century AD, and what were Native Americans doing? Well, who knows?
They were
But
surviving and living and doing their thing.
they were living their best life, right?
Yes. Yes.
That's all I got to say about that. They didn't have smallpox.
No.
So, there's little known. And since I'm not part of a Native American tribe, I don't have those elders to talk to have that oral history,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was I pivoted. Because when you think about it, even in, what'd you say, Shalon, the 1400s is when this guy wrote that poem?
Yeah. 1415.
1415.
Okay. Valentine's Day was not commercial by any sense of the imagination. Well, crap. I just closed out what I needed. One moment,
Oh.
please.
Yeah, not everybody celebrates Valentine's Day even now.
Yeah,
No.
that's true. Mm-hmm.
Now, I will say that Valentine's Day is one of my favorite holidays, if not the favorite holiday, like behind Christmas for me. And it hasn't always been that way. Like when I was a kid, the guy that I had a crush on never gave me the sweet Valentine that came in the box, right? There was always the one sweet Valentine.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was not that girl. But commercialism regarding Valentine's Day and even other holidays that we celebrate, we can immediately think of Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
The next one that comes to mind is Halloween,
Halloween. Mm-hmm.
right?
Mhm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
you've got the commercialization of things like anniversaries and birthdays and
Mm-hmm.
graduation and wedding and
Mm-hmm.
all the
Easter.
different things. Huh?
Easter's another one that they commercialize.
Easter, very much so, very much so.
Yeah.
And then you get all those here I go, I'm going to sound like a Bible thumper, but you get the pagan representation at Easter with the chicks and the bunnies and
Hmm.
things of that nature, right?
Yep.
Hmm.
All right, commercialism does have its good points, though. It does boost innovation because companies
Yes.
are constantly having to come up with new ideas, which, I mean, life-changing technology. You think about things like the refrigerator and the washing machine and the automobile,
Hmm.
right?
Okay.
Things like insulin pumps and glucometers.
Hmm.
Okay.
All right, that's commercialization.
Hmm.
You also think about economic growth. Um, when you have commercialization, I'm putting down my work in progress because I'll talk with my hands. Um, when you think about economic growth, you've got goods being sold everywhere, as opposed to just I'm a farmer and I have apples and I go to my local community and I sell bushels of apples at my local community, right? Whereas if I commercialize my farm, I can get it out to neighboring cities and then neighboring states. We talked about this when we talked about like the
Hmm.
banana
Hmm.
plantation, right?
Hmm.
Think.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So economic growth. And then there's the global connection. Where would we be without ramen noodles today? If listen, do not look up how those things are made. Okay. You will never want to eat another one again as long as you live, I promise.
College students would be starving.
Oh man. But, globalization of economy has meant that we can trade things with other countries and they can benefit from what we have and we can benefit from what they have. Those are good things. And then you have the freedom to choose,
Hmm.
which is a
Sometimes there are
big
too
one.
many choices, but yes, I agree. Yeah,
Yes,
like the Miss Eagle in Geoffrey Chaucer's poem,
that's
she
right.
chose.
The ability to
Hmm.
choose. When you think about shows like The Little House on the Prairie, where there was the Owens Mercantile, right?
Hmm.
You only got what they had.
Yeah.
You had no other choice unless you could make it at home.
Yeah.
But it grew to places like a five and dime. If you don't know what a five and dime is, look it up. Then there was Montgomery Wards and Woolworths and things that became general stores,
Hmm.
general good stores. Where, listen, I remember when Montgomery Ward had all kinds of furniture and they had refrigerators and
Hmm.
stoves. This was before
Hmm.
the microwave was invented, so just keep that
Hmm.
in mind.
Hmm.
But you could get a mixer and you could get clothes and rugs and shoes and toys. You could get
Yep.
everything at this one
They
store.
they even had a place for you to have lunch and get ice cream.
Yes, that's right. And if
Hmm.
you don't know what Montgomery Ward is, you can look it up.
Hmm.
It's a store that went out of business, although I do think they have a an internet presence now. I'm not entirely sure
I don't know. Me
because
either.
I didn't research that.
Hmm.
But then when you have a high volume production with a commercialized business, you get lower prices.
Hmm. If you have competition, if you have
Exactly.
one whatever selling whatever, there's no competition. They can put whatever price on it they want.
Exactly. Think
Yes.
about the Tesla, the
It,
car,
it-
not the man.
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah.
Okay.
Montgomery Ward does have an online presence at
Nice.
wards.com,
There you
Yeah.
go. Okay.
See, I thought they did.
and they're
All
having a
right.
35% off their bath and bed essentials.
Hey,
Really?
Yeah.
nice.
I just bought bathroom rugs at Walmart. But when you have high volume production and competition, essential goods become more affordable for just your
Hmm.
average everyday Joe and Jodine.
Yes. Hmm.
Now, the downside, and this is where the perks of commercialism are very clear, meaning that everybody gets benefit out of it. But the cons, there are some significant drawbacks. And
Mm-hmm.
one of the ones is that you haven't, you see it with the Instagram era of things, which is a higher stress level.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll get to that. But you get starting at the base of what's bad about commercialism, you have resource depletion. Mass production takes a
Mm.
heavy toll on natural resources. And if
Mm-hmm.
you are having, let's talk about data centers that they're putting up now,
Mm-hmm.
where they are getting rid of acres and acres of forest to put up those places, or they're tearing down communities to put those places in. And there is an exorbitantly high energy use for things like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get the mental clutter, the more is better mindset, and this is where comparison comes in to steal your joy with Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and all the reels on all the sites that have reels. Um, you can't get the newest thing because you don't have enough money, and then you have stress. I am not one of those people.
Not either.
I don't care about the
I
newest
don't either.
thing,
I don't either.
but there are people who are like that, and they're the younger
Hmm.
generation, younger than
Yeah.
us.
Yeah. They stress out over it.
Yes, and that mental stress is one of the reasons why we have such high anxiety rates in society today. And then you
Yeah.
have environmental waste that goes
Mm-hmm.
along with the deforestation and resource depletion, because the fast-paced consumption leads to, um, excuse me, leads to more trash in landfills, which means that more products have to be made. And immediately when I hear more stuff in landfills, I think clothes. Um, there's so much wasted clothing
Mm-hmm.
that it blows my mind
Mm-hmm.
at what is done. It's called fast fashion, where every clothing brand comes out with a new line every season, and there again it goes
Mm-hmm.
back to the mental clutter of having to have the newest thing. You've got to have the new shoes, you've got to have the new purse, you've got to have that new shirt, those new jeans, whatever. And
Yeah.
then there's also the debt cycle that comes with it. He's in the window again. So let me just grab hold. Um, I see you. Watch your step, please. The debt cycle, because increased advertising, which is that's not where the debt's coming from, but increased advertising can, if you're not careful, make you feel pressured into spending money that you don't necessarily have,
Mm-hmm.
which can lead to a long-term financial struggle. So if you think that if you are somebody that I was just curious, so I went and I looked at the price of the new 2026 insert car here, whatever your choice of car is. So then all of a sudden, what happens? You start getting ads for the Jeep or
Mm-hmm.
the Hyundai or the Ford or the Chevy or the Toyota or whatever it is. And you keep seeing it and you keep seeing it and you keep seeing it. And you start seeing all of the things that are good about what you don't have, which reinforces what you have in your vehicle that you don't like. And there's where that stress comes from. And then there's the obvious, which is the loss of quality. Are you done? Are you done in the window? All right, a loss of quality. So if you're going to have low prices and maintain a high profit margin, you can't really afford to pay people what they're worth in order to get the craftsmanship of the item that you're purchasing, whether it's shoes, cars, furniture, clothes. the faster you can get it out, the more you can
Hmm.
sell, the more money you make,
Hmm.
which is why you see things that are being made in like office chairs. Office chairs, a lot of times, are made in prisons. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. Mm-mm.
Yeah. So those guys are paid cents an hour,
Hmm.
like 50 cents an hour, or it's probably not even that much. But then you're buying an office chair that costs $169 on sale, mind you. And that's
Hmm.
at Staples. That's, not including like the big gaming chairs that people will spend lots and lots of money on. I am thinking of my son right now,
Hmm.
who spent over $250 on the chair that he sits in. But he does sit in it all the time. So mind that.
Well, yeah.
But still, if you're paying $250 for a chair, but the person that made the chair and put it together only made $2, where's that money going? It's not going to the person that made it.
Mm-mm.
So I
Nope.
don't know. To me, commercialism destroys the intent of what a lot of holidays are intended to do,
Yes.
Yeah.
right? Valentine's Day is a day for spending quality time with the people that you love. And
Yes.
it doesn't have
Hmm.
to be a romantic partner. Like
Mm-mm.
Shalon and I could go spend Valentine's Day together. Or me and Dee Dee could go spend Valentine's Day together.
Hmm.
Or I could spend Valentine's Day with any of my kids.
Hmm.
It's the time that you spend. Plus, if you feel like you have to get somebody a gift, make it for them.
Hmm. Well, if you feel like you have to get somebody a gift, you need to address that feeling. Why do you feel like you need to get them a gift?
Right. Yeah. Do you feel like you have to get them one so that they will reciprocate the love that you have for them? Because if that's the case, then that's not love.
No.
Um, but if you feel like you want to get them a gift because I love them, I want to show that person how much I love them, I'm going to fix them their favorite meal,
Hmm. It's
right?
not so much you feel like you need to do it, you want to do it.
Hmm.
I think there's a difference.
Yes. Yeah, there's a huge
Hmm.
difference between feeling like you have to and wanting
Hmm.
to.
And wanting to, yes.
You
Like
know,
if you want to buy your good friend those boots she was looking at and she couldn't afford, and you want to do it and you can afford it, go ahead and do it and give them to her for Valentine's Day.
right. And don't do it because you want her to
No.
I don't know, owe you something in the future.
No.
My dog is a Mrs. Kravitz. He is so nosy. Don't know who Mrs. Kravitz is? Look her up.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my soapbox. I'm done. I mean, I personally love the hand drawn stuff that I get from my grandkids. I
Hmm.
love like Shalon. Shalon had my one of my little storage containers, and she thought, "Well, I've had this for so long, I'm going to put something in it when I take it back." So she made chicken and dumplings, and I got to
Um,
enjoy her chicken and dumplings. They were very good, by the way.
thank you.
To me, that's a gift,
Yeah.
and that's what I enjoy the most of. Let me see. Can you? No, my grandkids, two of them anyway. Have we've talked about Art Sonia before, right? Or we've mentioned it, or I've mentioned it to you, or something along the lines.
Mhm.
Anyway, they do it in grade school. Um, art teachers will post the art from your kids, your grandkids, your nieces, and your nephews onto this website called Artsonia. And then Artsonia donates a portion of what they sell back to the art class
Hmm.
of that teacher. And my youngest grandson his art teacher was doing a fundraiser. So I ordered this. That's his art. He made Rudolph. And I don't know if it went to his teacher or not, but my other grandson from the same mother, he's now in middle school. But he did this as a collage when he was in the fourth grade, I think,
Hmm.
which is vegetables,
Yeah.
or it might be fruit. That one looks like a pineapple. Pineapple, whatever it is. Anyway, I ordered these two mugs. See,
Hmm.
look, see.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got some too. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I did names on the back. Well, these were the
Well,
original, and
this is just the
then
same thing on the other side.
world famous artist.
Yeah. Actually, they do Artsonia in middle school where Anna goes.
Do they?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. She
And those gifts to me are more precious than anything in the world, which is why I have 30-year-old Christmas decorations from when my kids were little.
Hmm.
I still have them. I've got this one little, it was a Thanksgiving decoration actually that my youngest daughter made when she was in kindergarten. She's
Hmm.
not 30, so if she's listening to this, I'm not saying that you're 30 years old. But it is a large bell, like a jingle bell, about this big, that they turned into a turkey. And it
oh,
is so cute.
oh, I'm gonna try to find something real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. For me, I don't. I would rather have someone to spend time with me than to give me a gift.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Time is something,
we don't even have to go somewhere. Just spend time with me.
yeah, sit and talk.
Yes. And I'm guilty of buying stuff and buying gifts for people and stuff, but for years and years ago, I started feeling really bad about it and I didn't like doing it. It's like Christmas really bothers me to buy gifts for everybody because that's not what it's about.
Right.
So
Now,
yeah, so
at Christmas,
I
I
would
like to
rather
try to, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I was going to say I would rather give people gifts on their birthdays instead of at
Hmm.
Christmas. Now, and I do understand at Christmas the teeny tiny kids.
Yeah.
Yes. But once you get up to where you're 15, 16, 17 years old, gifts on their birthdays, but not at Christmas. But
At Christmas, I like to try to find the thing that makes me think of that person when I see it.
mm-hmm.
Even if it's something that's secondhand. Like this
All
past
right.
Christmas, my oldest daughter got me, and I can go get it. I'm gonna go get it because it's just
Mm-hmm.
right here in the bedroom. Hang on.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. When I do give gifts to people like at Christmas, I like to think more about something they're going to be able to use. Like if they're an avid coffee drinker, get them some coffee that they like. Or
Yeah, I feel like that about Christmas as well. I don't
mhm.
like buying, I mean, not that I don't like buying gifts for my family. I do like buying gifts for my family. I don't like feeling
Mhm.
like I have to.
Yes, yes, and
Right.
I
And
don't
the
like
way
buying them
Christmas,
something that might end up in a closet in a year. I'd rather buy them
yes,
coffee and have them to enjoy that coffee for a month or what have you. Yes.
Yeah.
exactly. And I don't, it's, I struggle with being given gifts that I am not going to use like that.
Yes, it
And
bothers
it's
me
just,
too. Hmm.
it's a stress because now what am I going to do with this? Because if
Hmm.
I give it away, I'm going to feel bad because so and so gave it to me, but I can't really use it.
Hmm.
And it just has to sit in my closet.
Hmm.
Yeah. Now, this past Christmas, our oldest got us this. It's amber colored. It doesn't look like that on the screen. Well,
Yeah,
maybe it does,
Hmm.
it does. I see it.
but I don't know if you can read what. That
I
says
can't.
it's too blurry.
No.
It's
Mm-mm.
just a little thing around it that says whiskey, but it is a mid-century diamond cut amber decanter. And she said
Nice.
when she saw that, it made her think of us.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
That
And
is
I
cool.
I don't typically like what I call want nots, WANT-NOTS, because you don't really want it. Because I don't like to dust.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to dust around everything like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is something that I will have to dust, but I love it. So it's been sitting on my dresser.
Okay. I went out and I found something I made for Tim the very first year we were dating.
Oh my.
It was the first time I'd had a boyfriend on Valentine's Day. So I kind of went ham. I did chocolate. I did not the bear. I did balloons
Aw.
Mm-hmm.
and this. I
Is
don't
that a
know if it was.
giraffe?
It is. And he used to sing Hooked on a Feeling.
Oh.
But he has kept all this. And something that I did was, the little heart candies that have little sayings on them?
Uh-huh.
Conversation hearts. You wrote him a letter with conversation hearts.
I read them with her. Yeah. And there's one that I can't read anymore. I'm gonna have to write this down that because they're fading fast. Because
Mm-hmm.
Can you feel
uh,
the indention on it and maybe make out the words?
um no, I might have it might say okay, let's see if it makes sense if what I think it says. It says, "Hi love. For you, I'm sure it's true. True love, my baby. True love, sure love for you, only you. Hug me, cutie pie, kiss me, Romeo. I do, my baby, love only you. Love your angel."
Aw, I
Sweet.
love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've
But
not
yeah,
done anything like that, but I've made a cake before and put those on top of the cake.
yeah.
Hmm.
That would be good.
So yeah, me giving something that people don't have to keep because you eat the cake, right? So
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I did not expect him to keep this. And when we got married, and we didn't live together before we were married, so he's bringing all of his stuff over, and there's this bag, this duffel
Hmm.
bag, full of everything that I gave him when we were dating.
Aw.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I feel bad that I don't have a bag like this, but it's not me. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hold on to some things, but not
Hmm.
everything.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
Valentine's Day for you and whomever you choose to spend it with should be memorable,
Hmm.
right? So if you're somebody that likes to give gifts, don't just buy flowers and think that's enough because the flowers will wilt and fade. Um, go on an adventure.
Hmm.
Make a memory.
Yeah, make a memory. Um,
Hmm.
if you want to do something like give flowers, plant a tree somewhere in their name.
Hmm. Hmm.
Or you could be like I am. I would love flowers because I only have to take care of them for a short amount of time, and it doesn't add anything else I have to do. They could just sit and look pretty on the vase for a week.
You know, flowers are fine. I have gotten flowers before. Arnie's brought me flowers,
Yeah.
but I would rather, I don't know, go to Hawk's Nest and walk
Hmm.
around. or,
Hmm.
do something like that. Even if we used to go down to, I say used to, like we did it years and years ago, but the last time we did it was before it got really, really cold. Go down to Little Beaver, which is a park, and walk around the lake that's there and stand and look at the dam and I don't
Hmm.
know, just experiences,
Hmm.
Hmm.
right?
Yeah. I think we would be remiss though if we didn't mention the ultimate love story. And that is God's word and his son Jesus. For God so
And that,
loved the world that he gave his one and only son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. John 3:16.
Amen.
yes, and that takes us back to the beginning of Saint Valentine,
Yeah.
Which is
because
why he did it to begin with, right?
his love
Yes.
was the love of Christ. Yes.
Yes.
Anyway, next week we
Um,
are discussing how to stop doom scrolling,
okay. Yeah.
right? And I am proud to say that the report that I got on my phone this morning said that I had spent 2 hours less on my phone than I had the week previous. Excuse me. Okay.
You okay?
Okay. Less time on my phone than the previous week, which is good, which is what I've been trying to do, which is to decrease this. Is that why my hand is taped? My wrist and hand is taped. No, that's probably because of this. We'll be discussing ways to stop doom scrolling, some of the ways that we've done it that we have found beneficial, and some of the ways that maybe the internet says is the best way to do it, which, there's a paradox there.
Hmm.
Hmm. How, how to stop doom scrolling,
As I doom scroll and I find out how to stop doom scrolling.
right?
Yeah.
Anyway, but that's what we'll be talking about next week. I'm going to go take care of this cough.
Hmm.
You guys have a happy Valentine's Day. I hope your
Hmm.
weather is not too Arctic. I mean, the road is clear, the yard is not.
Yeah. I have a foot of snow in our yard.
Yeah. So stay warm, stay safe, enjoy Valentine's Day, make it memorable, and we'll see you next week. Oh, yeah, don't forget to subscribe and click and do all the stuff that other people tell you to do. Yeah, do that.
Hmm.
I love you guys. I gotta dig my mouse out from underneath this yarn.